State Warriors at 1-3. Fans on the concourse here, Thomas and Mack making their way to the seats. It's been Golden State fans. They have shown up in force for the entire week and a half here in Las Vegas. Now, earlier today, the championship was decided here in the Summer League, and Portland, they took the chip 85-77 over the Knicks. Trenton Watford, championship game MVP. What's up, everybody? Welcome courtside. John Schriffen alongside former WNBA coach and player Stephanie White. And Monica McNutt will join us momentarily. All right, Stephanie, for the Golden State Warriors, it's been fun this summer because we get to see the young three. They have played together a ton. Even just seeing Wiseman back on the court, that has been so much fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You can see the growth. You can see them looking to expand their games. And you're right about James Wiseman, just to be back on the floor after so long. And you see the numbers that they had. Moses Moody has been terrific. You see it right there. Jonathan Kuminga, the things that he has worked on in the offseason, his perimeter shooting, his ability to be a playmaker, and James Wiseman just being back on the floor, getting a feel for what it's like to play basketball again, rhythm, timing, motion, all of those things that matter. And you're right, the young three, right? They got the old veteran three, and they got the young three that are up and coming.
And these guys bring them a different presence. I think that's what makes them so much fun to watch. Now, for the Washington Wizards, there's some guys who are really trying to make an impact. So many guys have made a strong statement so far this summer, a chance to get into the summer camp, get into the training camp for the Wizards. And a guy who really wants to make a statement here in this fifth and final game is Isaiah Todd.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You think about opportunity to take that next step, and Isaiah Todd is one of those guys. He's a guy with high expectations, has been a little bit up and down in Summer League, but a big opportunity to show that he can and should be on the big club. He's to build on a strong showing in the last matchup here again tonight. Consistency is king. Building that consistency in habits and allowing that to carry you on the ball floor.
Now, we're not going to see some of the stars for the Warriors. Moses Moody not going to play in this game. I don't see Jonathan Kuminga dressed today, but James Wiseman is dressed, is going to start. We don't know how much we're going to see of him, but the third piece of this young trio is in action, along with Mac McClung. Caleb Ledoux, we have not seen him so far this summer. He's going to get the start. Dustin Sleva, as well as Lester Quinones out of Memphis. That's your starting five for the Warriors. For the Washington Wizards, it's Devon Dotson, Jordan Goodwin, Jaime Echenike, Isaiah Todd, and Jordan Shackle, who actually leads this team in scoring so far this summer, averaging over 14 points per game for the Wizards.
Yeah, and Jordan Shackle's a guy that can fill it up. I mean, he played 4 games with the big club last year, signed a 2-way contract in March.
How about Jaime Echenike wins the tip over James Wiseman, so the Wizards start with the ball wearing the road red. Warriors coming out in the home white. Echenike, a product out of Wichita State. Devon Dotson, a 22-year-old coming out of Kansas. Isaiah Todd. Dotson off to Todd. What a start for the Wizards.
It certainly is. Great ball movement, activity level. Isaiah Todd making a statement early.
Isaiah Todd, second-round pick back in 2021, played with G League Ignite. And travel for the Warriors at 6'9", 219. He is just so athletic.
Yeah, he really is. And this is a great find. Again, trailing the play, making himself available. Great find in transition and throwing it down.
I mean, if I'm playing with him, I'm trying to find him too.
No question about it. You know, and he has a tendency at times to just want to stay on the perimeter, and I think he can be one of those great slash cutters, getting to the rim, using that length and athleticism.
So Ledoux goes off his hands, out of bounds. Might see a little nerves from the Warriors as you see guys who have not played this summer getting the start. They know this is their one and only opportunity. See Moses Moody wearing the sweatshirt today. Moody, Wiseman, and Kuminga What kind of dynamic do they bring to the big club, being the young three?
Well, you bring energy, certainly. You know, the activity level, energy. Now, those veteran guys, as Isaiah Todd knocks down a three, those veteran guys have been together a long time, right? They've accomplished so much in 4 championships in 8 years. And you need to be able to develop in a system and develop that next level is big. And Mac McClung, who's a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Certainly a fan favorite. But giving them an opportunity to get some experience, to develop at their own pace because they're not thrown into the fire having to contribute right away, and then learning what it means to be a pro. What does it mean to compete at a high level? How do we have championship caliber habits day in and day out? And a lot of young guys don't get that opportunity.
I think that's a huge point. To be able to sit behind it and get playing time, but also learn and practice off the court from the veteran, from the Warriors, and learn what it takes to win a championship. I mean, that is just starting a foundation right there.
There's no doubt about that. And a lot of guys don't get that opportunity, not just to learn what it means to be a pro, but championship habits day in and day out, and they get to learn from the best.
Big shot right there from Lester Quinones out of Memphis. I was looking for his celebration move. I covered him a lot when he was in the American at Memphis. He strums the guitar when he knocks down a three.
And I think it's cool that he was college roommate James Wiseman.
I think Wiseman blocked that with his elbow.
And you've seen the flashes of brilliance, right, of James Wiseman. And here defensively, the ability to be a rim protector, to let your teammates take chances on the perimeter.
How much fun is it going to see a healthy James Wiseman playing above the rim? He's a lob threat. He protects the rim. I mean, he can do so much.
Well, and you look at his body, the way that he's been able to put on weight, you know, get stronger. You know, certainly the injuries have impacted his ability to play basketball games, but it's also given him the ability to bulk up a little bit, to watch, to learn, to grow in the IQ. But he gives them a dimension that they haven't had. You know, a rolling big, a dominant big inside, defensively a rim protector.
Shot clock down at 4 for Quinones. Dancing with it. He'll take a deep three. Wiseman was held on that rebound by Echenike. We're talking about James Wiseman and his path to get here. I mean, we didn't really see him at Memphis. Drafted 2nd overall back in 2020. He was banged up, tore his meniscus back on April 15th. And then almost 15 months later, we see him back returning here in this summer league. And man, it is a joy to watch Wiseman on the floor.
It sure is. And you think about, and we talk often about the physical toll that injury and not being on the floor takes, but the mental toll that it takes too. I mean, it's tough. It's isolating, being away from your team, not being able to participate. He's a young guy as well, trying to fit into the system. And just to see him back out here having fun, playing with joy is big.
That's what Jordan Shackle does. He is a catch and shoot dude. He nails his first shot, but I've seen his growth too, because I covered a lot of his games when he was at San Diego State, and he was primarily a shooter or defender. He can put the ball on the floor now. He has added that element to his game.
And it's what it takes, continuing to add to your game, to do what's necessary to prolong and continue your career.
Sleva tipping it in at the rim.
I mean, Shackle's a guy who can put up big numbers.
Oh, yeah. Dotson going hard, finds Todd, but can't get the handle. Quinones trying to go coast to coast, throwing it up. Rebound at Echenike. Goodwin. Passing off to Dotson, who nails the 3-ball. So the Wizards coming out shooting hot from downtown. 50%, that's their 3rd 3 already. Wiseman, a 2. Good start here in this first quarter by the Wizards. An 11-6 lead over the Warriors. We'll come back to Vegas after this.
NBA 2K23 Summer League is presented by...
And with an Allen Iverson onesie. Starting them young.
That's right. Should give the little one a ball and see if they can work on that crossover, right? That AI crossover.
If you're going to learn an AI crossover, you got to start it early.
That is true.
It takes years to master that. Dad's t-shirt with the practice.
I love it, yes.
Philly fans in the house. You can tell anybody who is still here at the Summer League, they're just a hoops fan. I mean, they just love seeing basketball. 11 days. This is one of the best events on the schedule. Dotson tips that one. Washington gets the turnover.
That's one of the things I've loved about being here. Like, you can tell these are just basketball fans.
Yeah.
Certainly you have some contingencies. You saw a lot of Laker jerseys. You see a lot of Warriors jerseys. But at the same time, just fans who appreciate the game.
Klung is cut off. He'll reset the offense. Quinones ripping down the net for Quinones. That is his first three. He's got 5 now. All alone, they missed him on defense. Tajir McCall out of Tennessee State.
Just got lost. The Warriors not able to match up in transition.
Wiseman's calling for it on the post. Look at Echenike, how far he pushed him out.
Great physicality by Echenike inside.
Tipped away, but a kickball called against Goodwin.
Echenike, another guy with such an interesting story, reading about he was going to go straight to the pros, and his father really pushed back, wanted him to get his education, go to college, get an opportunity, and guy, again, who continues to just take advantage when given that chance, when given that shot.
Echenike went undrafted in 2020, played in Spain. He's played in the G League. Offensive foul. And for Echenike, he's another one of those guys right now who is fighting to get into camp for the Wizards. He's been really good so far this summer.
Yeah, he has. And his ability to be mobile inside with his physicality, great touch around the rim. He's gotten to the foul line quite a bit. He's one of those guys who's been efficient with his minutes and efficient with that time.
Quentin Jackson checking into the game for the first time out of Texas A&M. Also, Pat Spencer is in there for the first time and he'll draw a foul.
Spencer, another one of those guys that has a cool story. I mean, played 4 years of college lacrosse, a great lacrosse player. Player of the year, winning championships, then transfers a 5th year to Northwestern to play a grad year of basketball.
I know a lot of people don't like the transfer rule. I love it. I think it gives opportunities for players to find homes, find spots that may not have been available to them because if they had to sit out a full year, maybe that spot closes up.
Right.
And Spencer's proven it, right?
You know, initially the intent for grads to be able to pursue graduate degrees that they might not have at their institutions, but what it's opened up in terms of opportunity has been huge.
That's Morales. Wizards with a 6-point lead as we approach 3 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Todd, his shot off the mark. Couldn't connect with Chachashvili underneath. Wizards, they have numbers. Quentin Jackson. He has got a speed burst in him out of Texas A&M. Covered him in the NIT, and he was one of the real catalysts to get them all the way to the Garden. They lost in that championship game, but Quentin Jackson was so good for the Aggies.
I like the pace that Washington's playing with on the offensive end of the floor. Ball movement, player movement.
There's Jackson from straight on. Klung, change of direction, try to go behind the back, taken away by Jackson. Dump off to Isaiah Todd. Pump faking his man in the air. That ball is blocked by Morales. And actually, that was off Todd. So good defensive effort by Morales and the Warriors. They get the ball back down by 8. Just over 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. PN app. 8 sluggers, 3 rounds, $1 million to the winner in this head-to-head bracket-style competition. Now ESPN2 will have a StatCast version once again. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific with baseball tonight on ESPN. Todd gets on the floor, gets the steal for the Wizards. But then Morales takes it right back. Baba in transition. Excuse me, that was Peyton Willis who had that steal. Here's Baba lining up a 3. Spencer gets the handoff from Todd, looks to go right back to the big man. Might have been an extra step, but McCall gets the lane, can't finish the layup. One-on-one, Udolph got it stripped away. Good D by McCall.
Great hands.
In transition, Tyler Hall out of Montana State. And Morales stepped out of bounds, turnover. Todd, quick catch and shoot. These are the moments where you got to look for Isaiah Todd to just completely take over this game. Obviously, he's the biggest name on the court right now. He's got the most athleticism. Morales has a quick shot off the mark.
And certainly when you look at this lineup, you know, his ability to get touches. He elevates with using that length, elevates on that shot. You know, I'd like to see him be a little bit more of a slasher too. Use that length and that athleticism, those long strides, get to the rim.
1 second to go. Spencer with the steal at the buzzer. Oh. At the end of the first quarter, the Wizards with an 8-point lead over the Warriors.
And the Wizards just doing such a good job of sharing the basketball. Every field goal is assisted on. Golden State knocking down shots. Both teams going back and forth. Loving the flow of this one so far.
Have a lead up against the Warriors. Isaiah, what's working so well for you guys?
Honestly, we just being in the gaps, disrupting them. We know they don't like to see a crowd when they're trying to get to the rim. Just flying around on defense, like I said.
Offensively, 6 assists, 6 made field goals. Will you look to get more ball movement moving forward?
Yeah, for sure, man. We just want to see it swing around, share the ball, and play fast.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Monica. John Schriffen alongside Monica McNutt. Stephanie White, who's a former WNBA player and coach. Hall will pull from deep. A little short. James Wiseman back on the floor for the Warriors. He started this game, got a rest. Now he starts this second quarter.
I like it. I like it that he's out there. I like it that he's finding a rhythm. You know, when you've been out of basketball, whether it's 1 season or 15 months like him, you know, just getting a feel for being on the floor again is so important. Getting your timing back, getting your rhythm back, feel for the ball. You can train one-on-one or in small groups or skill training all you want, but there's nothing like getting back into the flow of game action.
Just timing there, even. He was trying to block the shot of Echenique, and Echenique just took it right into his chest to draw the foul. Echenique is a guy who's got really good size. 6'11", 258, an outstanding motor. I mean, this guy just keeps going. He is always fighting for a loose ball, always fighting for a ball on the glass. He's a guy that if you put him in camp, he might just impress you enough to earn himself a spot.
He's solid. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't hurt you. He's in the right position, makes the right reads.
Baba at the rim. He is fouled. Udai Baba. Echenike said, it's only one foul. I got 10.
Well, he started out at Trinity Valley Community College, and before he went to Wichita State, and, had not really ever been pushed. Wasn't in very good shape. Learning how to take care of your body, learning what it takes at that next level, and he's just a guy who brings a lot of positive aspects to the game.
Also very vocal, too. I noticed him defensively. He's the guy pointing people out, making sure people in the right positions, in the right spots.
And that, sort of defensive quarterback is important. When you have somebody back there that can communicate, that can let you know that they have your back, get you in the right reads, especially in on-ball communication from the big. So important.
And we've seen it over and over again. When he gets positioned down low in the post, he's either going to finish it or you're going to have to foul
to the
him.
line, that's right.
Checking in for the first time for the Wizards be Artur Zagors from Latvia. Plung will call out the play, hands off to Wiseman, and gets it back. Echenike couldn't believe it. He's like, I got thrown to the ground and you call the foul on me?
Wiseman trying to get position right there. Echenike laying it all out there. But that's one where you might just take an extra dribble or two down to the baseline, give him a better angle.
Wiseman has shown that he can knock down that three so far this summer.
I mean, his shot looks good. He's not knocking it down, so to speak. It might not be going in, but it looks good.
Echenike with the mismatch, and once again draws another foul. All right, look, clearly I'm no executive. I'm just the broadcaster here. But if I'm with the Wizards, I'm going to at least put Echenike in my camp because I feel like he's the type of guy that can push other players.
Well, he got one game on the big club, last season. And you can't underestimate the value of, again, a guy who takes up space, who can play with some physicality, who can give you a different look inside, offensively, defensively, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, who doesn't hurt you when he's out there. And that's important in the small minutes that these guys might get. You can't hurt the team. You got to be able to give something.
And then he draws an offensive foul against Wiseman. We saw Tommy Shepard, who is the president of operations of the GM, and then Wes Unseld Jr., the head coach. They are still here at a time when a lot of team executives and management have already left Las Vegas. They are still here. They are watching the players on the court in this fifth and final game. So if you do something, they are noticing you right now if you're the Wizards. Spencer to Echenike with the float game over Wiseman. Backdoor cut by Baba. Dump off and Echenike breaks it up. Spencer protects it with the right hand, throws it up. Wiseman pulls down the rebound. Good pump fake. Euro step in the lane with the left. Showing all the moves. Jared Udoff out of Iowa.
Udoff is an experienced guy. Got a lot of experience playing in Europe, playing in the G League. He's a veteran.
Echenike, double team, just throws it up. Quinones launch it from the corner. And Baba will commit the reach-in foul. We've played 3 minutes here in this second quarter. Timeout on the floor. Echenike, he's been taking over.
He sure has. He's done a great job. And Jared Hudoff attacking off the bounce. Nice little Euro and finish.
The Bellagio fountains. All right, when you come to Vegas, as enticing as it may seem, don't get in the Bellagio fountain. Don't go for a swim.
Why not?
Because the police here will not like that.
They would not like that.
And they will take you away. But every summer, someone does it. Mac McClung trying to go to work with the left high off the window. Nice move by Mac McClung, the G League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's a tough finish. You know, Mac McClung's another guy who's intriguing. You know, not a lot of room on that roster for the Warriors, but he's a guy who can get to the rim. He can facilitate.
With the block, goes coast to coast for the Warriors.
He's an intriguing, you know, backup third option. You know, a Peyton Pritchard type of player. Can he find a position, a spot, a roster where he can do what he does best?
I mean, this is when McClung is so dangerous. When the defense isn't set, he can use his speed, his strength. He finds Hudoff for the three. He picks up the assist. Just like that, Golden State with a 7-0 run. They cut the lead down to 4.
You know, he intrigues you with his speed and athleticism, but he is a terrific facilitator as well. He does such a great job of drawing secondary defenders and finding his teammates.
He also does a good job of picking his spots.
He does.
Like right now, he slows things up, gets his team into a set. But when the defense is on their heels, that's when he's attacking. Lot of hand fighting. Baba draws the foul. So wave of subs come in for the Warriors. Tchachashvili is back on the floor. Morales comes back, as well as Caleb Ledoux, who got the start here today. Inside, Shackle called for the defensive foul. He's like, ref, he's holding me.
It's tough when you're little to get switched on to the big and you're trying to fight to get in front, trying to fight per position.
Ledoux with that high dribble finishes over Isaiah Todd.
That was a heck of a finish. You got to go high off the glass, and he had great touch.
The lead is now down to 2. Goodwin turns the corner, rejected by Tchachashvili. Morales driving baseline, and he finishes. We got a tie ball game here in the second quarter. An 11-0 run by Golden State. That forces the Wizards to call a timeout. Yeah, for every update this summer, get ready for the upcoming season by following all the big moves and breaking news. I mean, everyone's always on their phone anyway. Might as well just scan the QR code, get in on the action.
That's right.
Tablet too.
Continuing to wait for more breaking news. So many things in the rumor mill right now.
It's gonna happen.
I don't know how quickly it's gonna break, but each one of those rumors are gonna take some time.
We had Mike Wilbon on earlier talking Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Wild pass, Shackle pulls it down. Shot clock's at 4 for the Wizards. Shackle trying to get some space, got to get it up at the horn. Field goals this quarter, Washington just 2 of 10. Golden State is 7 of 9. Here's Ledoux from deep.
Including prior to that, they were 5 for their last 5.
You know, interesting about that run, Echenike was on the bench the entire time. Now he comes back into the game to try to give the Wizards another lift. Morales, good dump off. Willis will step into one and can the three.
And Peyton Willis has the ability to shoot the three. Shot at 43% last year for Minnesota.
For Golden State, that doesn't have their first lead of the ball game here now in the second quarter. Dotson pick and roll, but they're going to call an offensive foul, illegal screen.
He did extend, but you know, I don't like that call. The defender jumps into the screener in those ice or down situations oftentimes, and Echenike just going to roll, had his hands on him. But I don't like that call.
Morales, that's a deep two. Shackle rolls off the rim. Dotson finds a spot on the floor, pulls up and cans the two. So that ends the 14-0 run by the Warriors. Vili, that's a three, and the lefty nails that one. Golden State pouring it on here in the second quarter.
McClung was really able to keep the big engaged, brought him all the way down the lane and created that space.
Echenike rolling. Now will take his time, a big sky hook.
Off the glass.
Going old school for that move. Ledoux, and Echenike draws the charge. Like, really?
Well, you see McClung right here does such a good job of forcing Echenike deep into the paint, creates space for the open three-point shot. It's tough to be a big in pick and roll coverages. Whether you're switching out, which is tough to contain, in a drop coverage, you can't be too deep, but you don't want to get them around. And when you have an offensive player that can stretch the floor, you got to stay engaged and get back quickly.
Under 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Golden State with a 2-point lead. Dotson with a little hesitation. James Wiseman back out on the floor. McClung uses that screen and will nail the three. McClung and Wiseman have looked so good playing together.
They have, and that little toss-back action to a shooter is something Wiseman's going to have to get used to, right? When you're playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, run that little get action, find a way to create some space for him.
Rack up those assists.
That's right.
1 minute to play here in this first half. Wiseman up top. Oh! Oh, McClung. I think he wanted that more than Wiseman.
Sure did. And that's that different dynamic we were talking about. Wiseman, the ability to set the screen and be that dunker position, really roll into the rim. I mean, when you have that dimension added to the Golden State roster, he's a vacuum. He's either going to get lob dunks like that, or he's going to create shot opportunities for great shooters like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
So what do, right? You got a big man in Wiseman who's rolling to the rim, or do you stay on the three-point line with all the shooters for Golden State? I mean, what do you defend?
I mean, you have to pick your poison, and right now you're going to make him deliver a pass to Wiseman initially, right? That's how you're going to start it out, and then once he starts getting his, boy, then you got to find a way, because that's what makes it so tough. And Golden State was one of the first initially, when you think back to when their roster was put together, the way they shared the basketball.
Todd, that smooth-looking three-point stroke. Pulls the Wizards within 3. Timeout on the floor. 42.5 to play here in this first half. after the first quarter, but then the Warriors went on a 14-0 run.
Well, they've really done a good job of attacking, of moving the basketball, getting it going on the defensive end of the floor. That first break in the second quarter, they were 7 of 18 from the floor. Since then, they have been 8 for 10. High percentage looks, knocking it down. But just see how deep they're getting into the paint. They're taking advantage by scoring it inside or then passing it back out to perimeter shooters. And we were talking before the break about, Golden State and really being that team that talked about from an early stages when you had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Ball movement, player movement, lots of touches in a single possession, the ball not sticking, 5 around the perimeter. And this is just, that's the cornerstone of this franchise, is being hard to guard because the ball never stops moving.
Wiseman setting the screen back. Oh! The two-man game to perfection. Wiseman and McClung putting on a show in Vegas.
Keep running that because we are loving to see it.
Todd, get that out of here. Wiseman with the block. Big man running the floor, throw it up to him. Oh, McClung is fouled on the floor. With this connection that's forming, does this boost Mac McClung's stock in terms of making the team?
No, I think Mac McClung is a guy who certainly has to be in consideration. There's a lot of good guards. When you look at the roster and what are you going to do? There might not be a quote-unquote true backup point guard, but a lot of guys who can fill the void. Certainly we saw Jordan Poole doing a great job there. Mac McClung could be a third guard. I think when you're putting a team together, it's all dependent on what do you want in those final roster spots or two. What are you looking for? Do you feel like you need more of that backup point guard role? Do you feel like you need more help in the front court?
But what you can't deny is the chemistry that's already forming here in the summer.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I think that Mac McClung is one of those guys that probably a lot of guys like playing with because he does share the basketball, because he does draw a lot of attention.
Echenike is not blocking this. That's how we end the first half. Golden State with a 5-point lead at the break. They won that second quarter 31-18.
Where they had the ball popping. Nice job by Echenike knocking down a shot. You see McClung showing his range from 3. Jared Udoff gave him a lift off the bench. But the highlight right here, Wiseman throwing it down.
It's John tripping alongside Stephanie White, Monica McNutt. I mean, this place is still buzzing. That McClung behind the back to Wiseman yamming it. This has been a fun first half.
It sure has. It's been a back and forth first half, and both teams really finding their way offensively. Echenike got Washington going early in the ball game. He was getting a lot of touches, get it to the foul line. You see the float game right there in the pocket pass, his ability to take it off the bounce and use the glass. And you mentioned it, Mac McClung. He's an exciting player to watch.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. Does a great job of getting 2 feet in the paint, attacking, picking his spots, when to score it and when to make plays like that to James Wiseman.
I mean, that's the highlight of the summer for the Warriors right there. McClung to Wiseman. They have been so good together on the floor. Wiseman setting the high ball screen. McClung trying to go to work. Good D by Dotson. Ledoux rising up. Nails the first shot here in this third quarter. Caleb Ledoux got the start today after not playing the rest of the summer. Nailing the 3. Shackle left alone from straight on. That is way too much space.
Yeah, he can't have that much time and space. He's going to knock that down all day long.
For Shackle, that's his second 3 of the game. He's got 6. McClung, he gets deep, picks up his dribble, looking for some help. Ledoux all alone, poked away by Goodwin. Here's the steal. And he gets by Ledoux for the bucket. That's another part of being a pro, right? You're Caleb Ledoux. You haven't played all summer. Now all of a sudden you're thrust in the starting lineup. That's what it's like as a young guy, right?
It is, and that's going to be anybody who gets an opportunity, you know, to play on a big team. It's going to be like that. You're going to sit there a long time. You're going to be asked to go out and then perform and to do your job. And this is a guy who hasn't gotten any run since he's been out here. Now thrown into the starting lineup, getting a lot of minutes. But what a great opportunity, right? A great experience for him to be out here, get game action.
All right, so you played and coached at the highest level in the WNBA. Oh, nice up and under, can't go. What is the key to staying sharp if you're not getting a ton of playing time?
Well, you just mentally have to keep yourself into the ballgame. You know, you got to mentally stay ready. You got to find ways to keep yourself engaged and to be ready when your number's called. You know, physically it is the harder thing. You know, if you know that you're going to be given an opportunity, you're going to try to stay warm on the sideline. But most importantly is mentally staying locked in, stay ready to go.
No Jonathan Kuminga, no Moses Moody for the Warriors today. They had strong showings for the rest of the summer. Also, no Johnny Davis in action, no Vernon Carey Jr. for the Wizards. So everyone's going to get some run today. A 1-point lead for Golden State. Jaime Echenike, strong showing so far. He's got 13 points to lead the way for Washington. Here he is, D'ing up Wiseman. Wiseman turning with the left hand, no good.
And that's just great defense. Didn't give anything. Showing some physicality.
And Quinones is fouled by Goodwin.
This is a good D right here by Echenike. Uses his body, does a great job of not allowing Wiseman to get any space.
There was no give.
None.
Wiseman banged and Echenike just stood up like a wall. So Washington to start this third quarter, they are a 7-0 run right now. Quinones with the blow by. Ledoux, good pump fake for two. Wiseman keeps it alive and he'll be fouled. Activity by the big man.
Like the extra effort to go get that board. Again, you can't overstate just the feel for him, getting his rhythm back, getting his timing back, getting a feel back, you know, for what it's like to play meaningful basketball game right now.
Here he is, stepping out. And we showed the graphic earlier. It's been 15 months since he played a meaningful game since coming back here in the summer, but it's really been 3 years since he has played consistent basketball. Isaiah Todd is shot off the mark. Quinones, he gets some space. That's what he does. He is a shooter. Lester Quinones, that is his second three. He leads the way for the Warriors with 10.
And how fun for those two guys to be on the floor together. We're roommates at Memphis. You know, Quinones talked about being there for Wiseman when he was going through all of his injuries and just, you know, staying on the phone with him, helping him, encouraging him, and now for them to be able to share the floor together, it's pretty cool.
Shout out Penny Hardaway.
Yes.
The job he has done at Memphis to get so many guys in there, get them NBA ready.
Yes.
An impressive program Memphis has turned into. I get to call the American Conference for college basketball season, so I get to see Memphis, I get to see Houston, I get to see SMU, those teams on the regular who may not get enough respect, but I love the American Conference.
And in Houston, I mean, the job that Kelvin Sampson has done, and again, getting guys, you know, NBA ready. He had such a tremendous experience coaching in the NBA and learning what it takes, and now he's preparing his guys for that.
I mean, Kelvin Sampson lost his two best players. They were two guards. And instead of folding, he completely changed his team, went inside to the bigs, and had a huge run with Houston. Kelvin Sampson, one of the best coaches in the country.
We've seen a lot of his guys here this week.
That's right. That is right. So Devon Dotson out of Kansas will go to the line. He makes the first. Craig Sword, his first appearance, a 6'3" guard out of Mississippi State. So a little smaller lineup for the Warriors. McClung off the mark, and that one's going to be Washington ball. Do you think we see Wiseman again?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a tough balance, balancing the needing to get him reps and needing to get him time versus playing on the conservative side of, okay, we've seen enough. We want to make sure that
Dotson
we're
knifing
safe.
through the D.
And to give everybody else an opportunity.
From what you've seen, you impressed by what Wiseman coming back, the conditioning that he's in so far this season?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you can see fatigue certainly at certain points, but there's no question that, you know, he's had an opportunity to physically work on his body and then to be in condition enough to be able to play long minutes at a time. You know, I think it's been really impressive.
The defending champs, the youngsters out here letting people know the future is bright for the Warriors. They are a dynasty.
Well, you take a look at what Quinones has done. We've talked often about opportunity and taking advantage of this last opportunity to showcase your skills. And he got the starting nod here today, and he has delivered 4 for 8 from the floor, knocking down shots from long range. And this is a team in Golden State who hadn't shot the ball particularly well from the three-point line throughout their time here in Summer League, shooting it well today.
All tied at 48 apiece, under 6 minutes here in this third quarter. Isaiah Todd going strong, batting it around. Ledoux coming away with it. A 3-on-2 break for the Warriors. Ledoux at the rim. McClung! He can get up. I like him.
I don't know where he came from. he had to have been at the three-point line. There he is, running the break at the three, and just look at him trailing the play, seeing it coming. He's like, oh, I had that.
So McClung will go to the free throw line. He's got 9 points on the night to go along with 5 assists. He's been a distributor today. And there he is now in double figures with 10. Dotson getting in the lane. Get that out of here. Tchatchouveli with the block.
Got the mismatch. See if they can get it to him.
Calling for it. Cross-court pass is broken up. But stepping out of bounds is Sword.
This is a heck of a defensive play by Tchatchouveli. Great job of timing it, extending.
We're talking about all the international guys. Here's a guy coming from Israel. So many international guys trying to get a name, make an impact here to get into the NBA. McClung.
Wow. You can't go that far underneath him. And you talked about him distributing and, well, picking and choosing his moments.
Nails the three, comes down with the rebound. Now he's pushing the brace on the breakout. Spin move behind the back pass. Touch pass to Quinones. Oh, Warriors. The hot ticket in Vegas.
What a play by Mac McClung. Go under the screen. He's going to make you pay. That is way too much space. And then the defensive board. We've talked about him getting in the paint, drawing. I love the extra pass. Nailing the three.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada here, the NBA 2K23 Summer League. Isaiah Todd going to the bucket with the right, no good. Tipping around at the rim. Todd again. Quinones pulls it down. This game was tied at 48 apiece. And then Golden State has gone on an 8-0 run in the last minute, 30 on the floor. Wiseman back on the court. spinning in the lane with the left and the soft touch at the rim.
I love that. I love that. And I think he can be a dangerous player at that elbow because you use him in the handoffs, the tossbacks, and if he can develop that ability to put it on the floor and attack bigs, it's going to make him that much more dangerous.
And you see how explosive this offense is. It was just tied. Now they opened up a 10-point lead. Shot clock winding down. It's at 4 for Washington. Sword puts it up, and he gets it to go. That ends the run. A 10-0 run for the Warriors. Iones thought about it. Now a step back, a deep 2. Wiseman fighting for the rebound, an offensive putback.
That was a great extra effort to pursue the offensive rebound. And I think as you watch the evolution of James Wiseman, he can be a more dominant rebounder than he has been.
Morales, another assist to Mac McClung.
McClung is just taking control of this game.
Spencer finds the cutting Jackson. Nice 2 for Washington. Mac McClung, 14 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds.
Well, in transition, he is so dangerous. Great job of finding his teammates streaking down the lane. And that's one of the things, too. It's the timing of the passes. Like, you got to give your team the ball in positions to be successful. And he's delivered it on time and on target.
Jaime Echenique back on the floor for Washington. Bump is on the floor, called against Sword. I've noticed each time the Warriors have gone on a run, Echenique has been on the bench. As soon as he goes to the bench, that rim protector's out of the way.
Yep.
Dump off to Wiseman. Summer, get out your system. Ten-point lead, under 2.5 to play here in this third quarter. Spencer creates some space. That's that lacrosse move right there, right?
Exactly.
They shrug off with the left arm.
He's used to physicality. When he was the National Player of the Year in lacrosse.
That's impressive.
And then just decided in a grad year to play basketball.
That's what we call an athlete.
Right, exactly. And not just play basketball, but he's playing the point guard position. You see it right there, just uses his body, goes up, soft touch.
Well, Jaime Echenique threw his hands up. He couldn't believe it. He was just called for an illegal screen.
Oof.
What do you think?
I don't know how that's illegal. You know, he gave him time. He had time to change direction. That's one of those where that guard goes straight to his big and says, you got to tell me when that's coming.
JD Notte into the game for the first time. Wiseman turned face, a little strong. Spencer finds Sword in the corner. Notte finds Baba streaking up the court. That is blocked. Morales stepped out of bounds before he made his move. All right, 1:19 to play here in this third quarter. Washington, we've seen flashes where they've looked really good. What do you want to see out of them to finish this quarter? Spencer challenging Wiseman. Oh, no fear right there.
I like that. You know, getting to the foul line. You know, early in the ball game, Washington was doing such a good job of getting to the foul line. I love this take. Fearless right here, using his body. Spencer's a high flyer too now.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to find a way to get some stops on the other end. Golden State just really moving the ball incredibly well. It makes it difficult.
So Spencer goes 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 7-point lead for Golden State. Morales, nice crossover, finds Willis for down for a 3 from downtown. Draw the defender, kick out, nail the 3.
That's right. This is a Warriors team that's just really good at getting downhill enough to force that second defender to commit. And then the timing of getting the pass out.
Stay here with the Wizards, 44.3 to play, a 10-point lead for Golden State. Oh, nailing the 3, Tyler Hall, and 1. Go to the line and try to convert a 4-point play.
Well, that can be one of those momentum-changing plays right there. Really good execution and the out-of-bounds play. Loses the defender, knocks it down. You know, we've talked about that foul and jump shooters before. When you are in chase mode right there, it's difficult to contest without fouling, but you've got to have body control enough to be able to do it.
Tyler Hall, the Montana State product, with a 4-point play. And just like that, the lead's down to 6. Here the Wizards talking on D. Throwing it up to Wiseman, tips it in. About a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Jackson gets by his man into the paint, switches hands. Echenike throwing it up, and he is fouled.
Echenike just does such a good job. When Wiseman goes to help, when he goes to block a shot, he positions himself perfectly for an offensive rebound. And that's some of those little things, some of those intangibles and details. They don't show up on stat sheets, but are so valuable.
Echenike goes to the line. He makes his first, and effective at the line, too. Throwing it up, Wiseman, another alley-oop. At the horn. A good close to that quarter for Golden State. They end it with an 8-point lead. I really hope this is a fun fourth quarter, our last quarter here in Vegas.
We've seen Golden State knock it down from 3, attack, make the extra pass, unselfish play. And the energy, loving it.
For both teams, their 5th and final game. I know, it's been a long week and a half, 11 days here in the desert. Washington will start with the ball down by 8. John Trippin, Stephanie White, and Monica McNutt on the call. Jackson crossover, pivots, gets to his right. He's got so many moves.
He does, a great pivot, change of direction.
Look at that D by Sword, too. Staying in front of Willis, moving his feet. Willis has to turn around, forces him into a tough shot. Spencer uses the Echenike screen, tries to get him on the roll. Instead, Sword extra pass, and it goes through the hands of Hall. So 9 turnovers so far in the game for the Wizards. The Warriors actually have 17 turnovers. Ledoux, that's turnover number 18 right there.
Well, 17 is right on their average for Summer League. And you look at this Warriors team and the roster, and you think, how are they 1-3, right? How are they 1-3? Well, some of those things are turnovers and teams taking advantage of it. Some of it is not shooting the ball from three particularly well. But you see here tonight, and it's like with every game, James Wiseman gets more comfortable, gets more confident, gets more in a flow, gets more touches.
That was an offensive foul on Selim Awugbe, who just checked into the game. A 4-point lead for Golden State. No Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody in this 5th and final game for the Warriors. For Washington, no Johnny Davis or Vernon Carey Jr. They are both getting the night off. Hall with a 3, front rim, no good. Turn around, Baba, short. Johnny Davis is a guy we haven't really talked much about, but he looked really good. I mean, we saw his offensive skill, but he also pushing the ball up the floor, getting guys involved. He can kind of do it all. Quentin Jackson with a little action on the ball, spinning it in.
Well, this is a heck of a play. What an acrobatic, athletic finish. Goes around the defender. Able to score it for 2.
Johnny Davis is loving that
move.
move.
On the bench, yes. But you're right, Johnny Davis is another one of those guys who, you know, he's always under control. He made a huge jump from freshman to sophomore year, playing a role, being more of a role player, and then just dominating as a sophomore. You see the confidence, his body control, his ability to create space and get shots.
Baba, get that out of here. Sword with the block. 5 on the shot clock. Baba tipping it around, jumping at the rim. Echenike taking it down. Washington has started this 4th quarter on a 7-0 run. Echenike trying to call for it. They go across court now. This is Sword from the corner. He rattles it in. A 10-0 start for the Wizards. They take a 2-point lead. It's been a good game.
It has been a good game. Both teams sharing the basketball. Multiple players getting involved, stepping up, taking advantage of this last opportunity to be on the floor.
Spencer dump off. Echenike with the hammer. A 12-0 start for Washington. They're trying to leave Vegas on a high note.
Well, Spencer giving his team some energy, getting to the rim. Nice drop off. Echenike, the benefactor.
NBA 2K23.
This 4th quarter for the Washington Wizards. Take a 14-point lead, a 12-0 run to start. Quentin Jackson gets another rebound. For Jackson, he's got 11 points. Echenike has also been good. Jaime Echenike has got 15 points to go with 8 rebounds. Spencer taking his time. He'll find Jackson from deep. Jackson nails his first 3. He's up to 14 on the game now.
Spencer's doing a really good job of probing, of getting into the paint, of finding his teammates. Now, Washington all game long has shared the basketball, have a high assist-to-made field goal ratio. Now they're knocking them in.
Jeddy Note.
There was a period of time where they struggled just making shots. That's not the case right now.
A 15-0 start for Washington. Spencer forced that one. Offensive foul. Echenike was camped out waiting for that one for a minute.
Since half court. He saw it coming from half court. A great job of being in position and taking that charge. When you see Spencer just probing, getting into the paint, drawing multiple defenders. Another 3 for the Wizards. Jackson, he's been a great spark.
Golden State 0 for 9 to start this 4th quarter. Challenged. Golden State is challenging the fact that Echenike might have had his heel in that restricted area.
It's tough to get a good angle to truly be certain about overturning it.
So we did not get an announcement.
After review, Golden State, the challenge is deemed unsuccessful. Offensive foul, Washington ball.
All right, there we go. So the call stands, Washington ball. 15-0 run to start the quarter. Now for Golden State, they did empty the bench, so a lot of guys on the floor who haven't gotten much playing time this summer. Jackson behind the back pass, rising up is Hall, knocking it down. Everything working for Washington. An 18-0 run.
Oh, could have had another one right there if the pass was delivered.
Ooh, Spencer finds Hall. Barely had his feet under him. He gets it up. 5 minutes to play here in the summer. Quentin Jackson jumping the passing lane, running the break. Strong step to the cup.
Well, Jackson has been impressive. What he's done offensively, knocking down shots, getting to the paint, terrific defensive play right there.
Now Jackson leads Washington with 16 points. It is a 20-0 run as Sword commits the foul on Willis. With the performance from Quentin Jackson, actually, let's take a first look at this replay first.
Yeah, great job of getting into the passing lane and then so fast in transition.
From what you've seen from Quentin Jackson, has he done enough to potentially get himself an invite to somebody's camp?
I mean, certainly when you look at opportunities in camp, there are some teams that are going to have more than others. You know, I think he's shown flashes of being really good in this ball game. I don't know that consistently through the course of Summer League he's shown enough. But sometimes it's that last lasting taste that's in your mouth. What did you see from him at the end that might get him a camp invite? And Quentin Jackson, a guy who played for Buzz Williams at A&M, known as a three-point shooter, but he's shown he can get to the rim as well.
Oh, showing a little shiftiness. Going 1-on-3, Jackson with the rejection. Morales trying to keep it alive and banks it in off the window.
Well, you can't teach that, though. Right there, that defensive challenge.
Sword goes backdoor, back to Echenike. And cut off by Spencer.
That could be a
now, is that a take foul? Yeah.
It could be a take foul. My vision was a little shielded over here, but no, they're not going to call it. Oh, there was a play on the ball right there.
There was, yeah. Yeah, he did make a play on the ball. Under 4 minutes to play here, Note. He's trying to get his up. Tomway talking on defense for Golden State. Echenike, oh, monster finish. Jaime Echenike, he now leads the way with 17 points. Double-double for him, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 block. Goodwin. Back to Quentin Jackson, peeks up at the clock, shot clock down to 5. The body on him, throwing it up.
That was great defense. I felt like Morales on that play might have passed up a transition three. He had it in rhythm.
Echenike pulling down the board. I mean, we've seen guys who do not get a lot of playing time. They are playing for their basketball careers right now. They are trying to impress anyone in the world. You got to respect the hustle right now.
There's no doubt about it. Some of them got minimum, minutes. Some of them not any minutes at all the entire summer league until today. They know this is their one opportunity to showcase what they have and what they can bring to a team.
Timeout on the floor. Washington is winning this fourth quarter 22-3. They're not playing around. 2:19 to play.
Quentin Jackson has had himself a fourth quarter. He has been aggressive to the rim. He's got 16 for the game. 12 have come in this quarter, showing his athleticism, his ability to stretch the D from the three-point line. Terrific defensive prowess in the passing lane. We saw him get up trying to block a shot as well. Talk about taking advantage of the time. He had 2 points in the first half.
Yeah. Texas A&M product, you talked about Buzz Williams. He is building something special in Aggie land. It was fun to go down there, cover them for the NIT, making their run all the way to the Garden. With athletic guards like Quentin Jackson, Texas A&M, man, they are something special to watch in the future.
Buzz Williams is such a terrific coach. Did a great job at Virginia Tech, Marquette before that. And then, like as you mentioned, building something special at A&M.
Goodwin finds a cutting. Oh! Are you serious? Pat Spencer? I didn't know he could get up like that. Did you know he had that?
I saw him a couple of games ago have one in the half court where he just went down the lane and elevated. We talked about his ability too to be a high flyer. That was nice.
Note fouled at the rim. He'll go to the line for two. There have been so many impressive performances by the Wizards. Echenike, Quentin Jackson, Pat Spencer. Isaiah Todd has had flashes this game. I mean, there's a ton of young talent in this Washington organization. All right, here's our next WNBA game, and it should be a good one. Breanna Stewart and the Storm take on Alana Deladon and the Mystics. Two teams have combined to win 3 of the last 4 WNBA titles. Storm and Mystics set to square off Saturday, July 30th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Talk about Breanna Stewart and Sue Bird on her farewell tour, her last season in Seattle in the WNBA. What a legacy she has. Speaking of Seattle.
There you go. Old school Supersonics jersey.
I know they want to bring a Sonics team back. They want an NBA team back in Seattle.
Don't think about Vegas. We'd love a team here too.
That is true. I've heard that rumor.
Note giving it up to Morales, who will finish. .11 lead for Washington as we approach a minute to play here in the ballgame. Jackson back to Todd. Tomway rejected. Echenike with the block. No good on the second attempt. And Jackson will slow things down. What a fourth quarter performance by the Wizards. 24-5. Just took it to the Warriors. Jackson, another blow by. He now is the leading scorer with 18.
Just when you thought Golden State was going to run away with it, Washington comes back. They have shot the ball incredibly well. Played so well together. answered the call.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Goodwin says, I know. He's going to take a shot clock violation. Jetty Notte with the final shot here for the Summer League, and it goes at the buzzer. So our final score, Washington 87, Golden State 77. The Wizards move to 3-2 here in the summer. Golden State falls to 1-4. Stephanie, your final thoughts on the strong fourth quarter from the Wizards?
I just thought they moved the ball incredibly well. They did a great job of attacking the paint, finding balance and scoring inside and out. Certainly Golden State emptied their bench at that time, and Washington took advantage of it.
Jaime Echenique finished with 17 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, to go along with 12 rebounds. Leading scorer was Quentin Jackson, 18 points, 8 of 15 from the floor, 3 rebounds, 3 steals for the Warriors. Mac McClung, he led the way. He had 14 points to go with 6 assists, 3 rebounds. And James Wiseman, the combination of McClung and Wiseman, it was really fun to watch so many times. Wiseman had 11 points, 6 rebounds in the limited minutes that they played together.
Yeah, I thought those two were terrific together. You can get a sense of what it's going to be like to have James Wiseman in a two-man game. And, of course, Mac McClung is an exciting player to watch.
Now, we always wonder how many roster spots are open, how many camp invites are open. But if you're a player on the floor, that's not up to you, right? Like, you can't control any of that. All you can control is what you do. And from what I saw from Mac McClung, I was really impressed. I think he might get a shot somewhere.
Yeah, he's had a terrific summer league. I mean, he's a guy who's taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given. And certainly you control the things that you can control, and he's done a good job of being in conversation.
All right, let's send it over to Monica McNutt, who is standing by with the star for the Washington Wizards.
That's right, John. The star, Jaime Echenique, a monster double-double. Summer League is all about seizing the opportunities. How would you assess your entire Summer League, not just this game?
Man, I'm a little emotional today. You know, it's a dream come true to be here. I think the hard work from a year ago is being paid off. Obviously, the rotations and all this kind of stuff is easy to get dismotivated because some guys have to get minutes, but it's about getting ready. Today was the last game, and I was like, I don't want to leave anything on the tank. Representing always my country, representing who I am and my family. And today was a big time for us. You know, it's the last time that we probably want to play together, and who knows what's coming next.
What do you think fans should know about everything that's required to get to an NBA roster spot, Jaime? I know you're someone that's been pouring your heart and soul into this for a while now.
You know, when I get the call up in December, a lot of people, it's easy to them to like judge you. Usually, like, you only play 3 minutes, you only play whatever minutes. It's just the fact that you are, in the conversations about one of the best leagues in the world is It's really meaningful, especially coming from South America. It's an incredible journey I've been passing through, and I'm just happy. You know, it's tough. It's tough. Like, I mean, every day is a grind from 8 a.m. until 3. It's just a grind. People don't recognize that, and only think that we just come here to perform, and it's a lot of time in the gym.
Well, Jaime, your hard work is paying off. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, John.
All right, Monica, we appreciate that. We are joined by Quentin Jackson, leading scorer of the game. 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. That fourth quarter, you guys just dominated. What was the mindset when you stepped out in that fourth quarter?
Just be aggressive and then play as a team. You know, we all fairly new to each other, so we still kind of learning each other's games, learning each other's flows. But at the end of the day, we wanted to try and control our energy, our intensity, and then, just be aggressive on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
You in particular had an explosive fourth quarter. Last opportunity to showcase what you have. What was that about for you?
Like you said, just my last opportunity. I think coming into this summer league, I was kind of nervous just because of the stature of where I'm at. There's somewhere I always dreamed of being, and to be here is kind of surreal. So I kind of fell into a, not a timid, but like kind of passive kind of game, and it kind of just had me going downhill. So this last game, I just tried to be as aggressive as I could, not just for myself, but for my team, and I think it worked out for us in the end.
So you go undrafted out of Texas A&M, maybe a little under the radar. I knew about you. I covered you guys in your run in the NIT. I was down there at Texas A&M. I saw how Buzz Williams worked with you guys, how you guys have something special. What did Buzz Williams tell you before you came to Vegas?
We just had a big lesson on how all of this NBA, G League, contracts and all that stuff work. And then he just kind of told me to keep being who I am, stay in the gym, stay in the weight room, keep working hard, keep the work ethic where it is, you know, don't let up, and then just come out here and be me. And that's what I kind of did this last game.
What have you learned about yourself throughout this experience?
That I could stay down. I could stay down for the come up. No matter how crazy things seem or how down things feel in my head, you know, just kind of just putting all that to the side and just allow myself to be me and controlling what I can control.
I mean, we've talked about that, how so many things are out of players' control. Have you heard anything about what potentially could be next after putting up a strong performance here this summer?
I've heard nothing. When I find out, I'll make sure y'all find out.
Well, you did your thing, and it was fun to watch. Quentin Jackson, thank you so much. Leading scorer here. Final game and get the win for the Wizards.
Appreciate that.
What a summer it has been here in Las Vegas. 11 days. The NBA 2K23 Summer League is winding down, but the Washington Wizards making a statement. An 87-77 win over Golden State. For my partner Stephanie White and Monica McNutt, I'm John Trippin saying so long from Las Vegas. It's been